Welcome to the Sheena and Sheila show. This is the Angel series. We've been gathering for weeks now, and we've been sharing some great information on the archangels. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, and hello from Australia. For those of you that have been following the shows, today we're going to speak about Archangel Zadekiel, or you may know him as Bariekiel. And we've been discussing the Council of Seven, which is the beautiful team that I work with and have always worked with. And please only ever take into your heart what feels right for you. But these main seven, which we call the Council of Seven, they hold the main healing rays for mankind. Or you might understand that as the chakra system or the gateways of consciousness. Now, the seven that I speak about are a team. They work together, and as a healer and a teacher and a facilitator, we always work with these seven to create what we call a matrix. And they're the gatekeepers of these centers of consciousness. Each archangel, as you know from our series, and if you've watched any of the previous shows, can resonate the entire spectrum. So for the purpose of this series and what I'm speaking about, it's just to let you know that they are the gatekeepers of these centers of consciousness. It does not mean that they are actually that particular colour, because every archangel can vibrate the entire spectrum. Now, today's show is on Archangel Zadekiel, or he's also been known as Bariekiel, and he's the gatekeeper of the centre of consciousness, or the chakra for the red energy. Now, I love to tease him, and I call him the Ricky Martin of the archangels. He's the best dancer. He dances. And the red energy is extraordinary. The red energy is, of course, associated with the root chakra or the base chakra, or I also call them the birth gates. And this energy, the red energy, is a very sacred energy. Most Indigenous cultures always regard the red as very sacred. It's also the colour of our blood on this earth realm. For most of the animal kingdom. Some of the animal kingdom don't have red blood, but the majority does. Now, in angelic terms, Archangel Bariekiel is known as the mercy of God. And God is whatever you conceive God to be, whether it's the God or the goddess. My favourite one is the divine director. But it means mercy of God. Now, the red energy is quite extraordinary energy to work with. It's a very grounding energy. A lot of beautiful brothers and sisters like to sit on the earth and ground their base chakra or their centre of consciousness into the earth. And a lot of people work with the red energy. The red energy is a very primal energy. It's also a very sensual, very sexual energy. And in the Qigong, it's known as the Dumei, which connects to what we call the governing vessel, which is a channel of energy that takes the energy that comes into your template through the crown into your chakra system. It then travels into the governing vessel and the conception vessel, which are major big pathways, and then it gets distributed to the smaller chakras and the smaller pathways in your body or in your spiritual template. It then gets distributed into the blood, and then the blood carries this energy as well into all the organs. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because there are some schools of thought and some teachings that will connect different chakras to the different organs inside the body. When I was creating the big guide for the healers, the chakra guide, I'll just show you very briefly, that one, the big one, I had to sit with the masters and I had to follow the energy and follow the direction of it. And they taught me to follow the blood, where the blood ganglia connect inside the body. And so it's not necessarily the position of the chakra on the body that denotes which organs it feeds. in this case, the base chakra, actually, the energy, the blood ganglia, feed the kidneys. So if you have any medical training and you want to look at it, watch where all the blood ganglia, and the blood ganglia are all the fine little vessels from the blood that go down and connect, and you have to follow the energy down the spine. And it also connects to the adrenals, the red energy, which will make perfect sense to everybody. And it is part of our lower emotional body, and it's a very earthly energy. In what we call the circuit of the chi or the kai, it's known as the hu yin. It's a feminine energy. So it's quite fascinating. But when you work with Archangel Zadekiel or Archangel Bariekiel, we work with this beautiful archangel, which can also vibrate both a feminine and masculine aspect. For me, many of the archangels vibrate at a masculine aspect when they're working with me, because I'm a very feminine being, and it's to just give me the balance. So when these archangels come in, they will present to you exactly what is needed for you. But Archangel Bariekiel or Zadekiel, he's very funny, works with you closely from the ages of 1 to 7 when you first come into the planet and you're anchoring in your base chakra. Also works with a lot of women who are giving birth when we open the base chakra to give birth. Just the most gorgeous energy. As I said, very sacred energy, very tantric, if that makes sense. Tantra is being aware and being totally in the now. People quite often associate tantric energy with sexual energy, and that is because if you're working with the red energy and you're bringing it through your body and bringing it through the organs, the first organs it is going to come in contact with, of course, are the reproductive organs within your body and your kidneys. So that's why some people, when they're working with that, they'll feel the erogenous zones, which is quite normal. But true Tantra means being aware of the now, being aware of every breath that you take, being aware of the temperature of the breath. Ever since I was a child, I've been aware of every step I've taken on this planet. I'm aware of the temperature and how the air feels against my body. I'm aware that when I breathe, I feel the cool air coming in and going out. I'm aware of everything, every sense, but I've always been like that. That's actually true Tantra, being in the moment, being aware of all your spatial surroundings, being aware of how things feel, touch, taste, sound. Every second is a miracle, if that makes sense. But Archangel Bariekiel, I love Archangel Bariekiel. I'm wearing red today just for Archangel Bariekiel.
Yeah, I wished I would have worn some red.
Oh, that's okay. Quite often you can put red underwear on. But Archangel Bariekiel or Zadekiel, very, very important. As I said, comes into contact with us when we're first born, and each chakra or conscious center of consciousness takes approximately 7 years to evolve or work through. That's only a guide. Everybody is unique. Everybody is different. A lot of the beautiful beings that are coming into the planet now, of course, are working through these templates and centers of consciousness much faster than traditional. And so the first 7 years of your life, you usually get to dance with Archangel Zadekiel or Bariekiel. Now, the blood is very, very important because messages are carried through the oxygen within the blood, and the messages come into the crown, and then it goes through a process where it has to process and translate. And this language from the higher, the divine, comes in, and it comes in and it has to translate from love and light first into a concept. Then it has to translate into a thought. Then it has to translate into your language. And then it's travelled and it goes through your entire being and actually travels through the bloodstream, through the oxygen in the bloodstream. And this is why when you do a meditation or you do any physical exercise, this is why afterwards you'll have great insights, because it works through your whole being, not only at a spiritual level, but at a cellular level. So it's very, very exciting. Now, many beings need to use the earth to ground into, and they'll work closely, even if they're not consciously aware of it, they'll work closely with the red energy and Archangel Bariekiel's energy to help ground and be part of the earth, which we are, our physical being is. For me, I don't ground into the earth. I center myself through my heart. That's how I ground, is through centering through the heart planes, because I'm a very ethereal being, and so I tried every technique you could possibly think of to ground and get centered by all the people that would suggest all the things, until I 20 years later had a little hissy fit and spat the dummy and said to my angels, oh, I can't get grounded, how do I ground? And they turned around and they said, well, it's simple, you just ask. I said, you are kidding? Just ask? They said, yes, child, you just center yourself in your heart and you go straight to the divine and you say, please ground me. I tried it. It was amazing. It felt like I was coming down in an elevator. I lined up straight through the heart center, boom, 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 through all the planes of existence and through the other realms, and I was present. And it was like, 20 years I've been trying to do this. Well, they didn't ask. It's okay. It's that simple. So Archangel Bariekiel or Zadekiel is a lot of fun. The evidence, I always love to say this, the evidence of the archangels is seen in every rainbow. And when you see a double rainbow, it's an archangel gateway, because the colour is a consciousness. It's a living consciousness. So tell me your experiences with this red energy.
Well, okay, so first of all, I noticed that since I moved here to this place where I live by myself, and I've been able to just make the energy myself, there have been, which I didn't have in my other places, I have some very red pieces throughout my house. And although I have never liked to wear red, it was really important for me to have. I have it in my living room and my kitchen. And I have sort of a Oriental theme in there. And for some reason, it was just very important for me to have that red in there. And I have felt very, when I wear it, I feel like too much energy. But to have that in my house, it was like bringing balance into my house.
Absolutely, it is. It is. I have red. There's flashes of red and red pillows. Mm-hmm. And I know that when I have to go out shopping, I usually have to wear red shoes or red jeans. And it's part of me being grounded in that red ray to traverse the earth's realm, if that makes sense.
Right.
The red is so sacred and it's such a powerful energy. Now, it is a little bit different to the sacred heart energy, which is also a red, or appears to be a red, but it's actually the deepest pink, which crosses over into red. So there are those that work with the sacred heart energy, and it's a red flame in the heart. It is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. They feel a little bit different though. In working with Archangel Bariekiel and Zadekiel, I actually invite him in and ask him to hold the energy space for us now. You'll feel very alive. You'll feel a lot of stimulus, and that that's what that energy is about.
Yes.
It,
Yes.
it is the closest. He works the closest to the earth realm, or the closest to the material, physical realm. So this archangel is an extraordinary being. And he works closely with what we call the code master, who sets codes or sets the programming for the DNA. So when you're doing healing work, it's really important to have the balance through all the centers of consciousness and all the gateways and all the chakras. So that's why they make up the Council of Seven. And they always have, and they're always present. And they were created for this earth realm. They will always be part of this earth realm, and they evolve as the earth evolves with it. And
And you know, it's interesting because of it being in the root chakra, okay? And we, like, you know, we materialistically, you know, we do the red hearts, which mean love. And we have the Valentine's Day, which there's a lot of red there. And at Christmas time, in the time of giving and of loving and sharing, you know, we've got red there. And the whole reproduction is all about love. And so it's nice that it all ties in, the whole red color. Like I said, if I wear it, I feel it's very stimulating. It's too stimulating for me. And I didn't want a red car either. I felt like if I had a red car, I would just go too fast.
It's interesting that in traffic lights they use red for stop and green for go.
Right.
You would think that they would reverse it, because red is also a colour that it stands out above all other colours.
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, on the colour wheel, you can take red and blend a little bit of red with other colours. It's interesting what red will do.
Yes.
If you take red and blend it with blue, what do you get?
You got a beautiful purple.
Exactly. Yeah. If you take yellow and blend a bit of red, what do you get?
And you got orange.
Orange, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And so if you take blue and yellow, you get the green. It's really interesting when you blend the colours. And I always found it fascinating when I would be working with people and working with their templates and doing a healing, and then I would always consult with their guardian angel and their guides and their soul as to what shades or tones each person was, because in the spectrum of red there's so many. And I always found it amazing. Some people would be deep rustic colours, some people would be neon and bright, and some would be very, very, just a hint of colour. And so each person's colour vibration is unique to them.
And I should say right now, when you and I talk about color, we're actually talking about a vibration.
Yes, and a consciousness. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, it is. And the beautiful thing too is the colour now can be measured with hertz. There's spectrums, so it can be proven that it is a vibration. And when I do crystal singing or toning for earth sound healing for people, you can tone the colours and you can sing the colours as well. But as I said, Archangel Bariekiel or Archangel Zadekiel is just so much fun to work with. So I'm going to invite his presence in now to step in much stronger and much closer now, and we just invite him in and ask him to touch us now so we can recognise his touch. So just relax into that. If you have deep inner child healing that you wish to do, and some people are working in the subconscious mind, it's really nice to work with Archangel Bariekiel and the Marys or the female healers. and start in the red energy before you move into the subconscious mind. As I said, he's also present when you're giving birth, which is so beautiful. But for healing of a traumatic nature where there might have been violation in the base chakra, Archangel Bariekiel will help repair that as well as a healer, and help clear that energy. Because quite often one of the most difficult things is that if somebody has been traumatized through violation of any kind in that area, yes, the physical can be healed, but quite often there's an energetic signature that is left behind by the person who caused the violation. And that can be actually cleared and healed and removed, so the person can actually feel that that energy has left them. So just as a healer, if you're a healer and you're working with your team and you sense a lot of that red coming in, or the presence of a very big being coming in, that it's probably Archangel Bariekiel or Zadekiel coming in to assist you in that area. Yeah. So,
and here's the other thing about, these shows and introducing people to the various angels, is that not only is it something that you can ask for assistance for, but this is an opportunity for a relationship.
yes,
to really ask and to really feel and to get to know. These are entities that love us and love that we would want to embrace and connect and have a real relationship with these, and how nice that we are being introduced to them, and for a purpose. I was just thinking of my girls when they're having their monthlies, and you've got cramps and what a perfect time to take a moment and connect and ask for assistance in that moment, which is what you do all the time. You keep reminding us to ask for assistance in situations where I would not have thought to ask before.
Absolutely. It's while we're learning our self-mastery, while we're divine, eternal spiritual beings incarnated in this densest form of light that we can vibrate at, while we're learning our self-mastery, we have these incredible guardians and guides that watch over us, and they are there for us to ask for assistance at any time. They are our mentors, they're our teachers, they facilitate experiences for us. And as a healer and as a teacher of other healers, they are our team that we call in when we're facilitating a healing. As I said, I've always worked with the Council of Seven. There are other beings that the Council of Seven will also work with in harmony, but for this earth realm, these are the Council of Seven that you work with. So I'm just explaining little snippets for you to get a small understanding of how amazing these angelic beings are, and how they are here in service to us also, to assist us in this extraordinary experience as a human being. So once you have the conscious awareness that everything is energy and you yourself are energy, they will help you on whatever journey that you've chosen to experience, so that you can grow and evolve as a spiritual being. Just being human helps your spirit evolve. Yes, it's extraordinary. It's just my role. It's just what I was created for. Archangel Bariekiel or Zadekiel really assists me in being here. Otherwise I couldn't be here. And when my mother was pregnant with me, she had a craving to drink and eat nothing but beetroot and drink beetroot juice to anchor me in. Now, I actually have an intolerance to red food. I don't need it. I don't eat red food because I had so much of it in the womb. It was quite funny. It was like that's how they had to anchor me in with red. And I can eat yellow and green capsicum, but red capsicum, no. It's really bizarre. And strawberries, I can only I usually inhale the energy of food. I eat very little. I've never needed a lot. But to eat a strawberry, just one strawberry, that's it. I'm overdosed on red. It's quite, isn't it interesting?
You know, that is interesting because my network of empaths have all been talking about how their digestion is changing. As their vibration changes, so does what they're eating is not the same. Everything is changing. And it just dawned on me as you're saying that maybe some days some colors are better for you than others.
Absolutely. I will dress according to the color that is needed. I usually wear a base color, and whenever I would have a client coming, I'd ask which crystals to wear for them, which colour to wear for them, because it was about them. I know with food, I can take the food and hold it and use the Ormus energy, or what we call bless, or say grace, and energise the food. I can actually eat anything that I like. I just have to energise it and change the coding of it to eat it. But I definitely don't need any red. I got redded when I was in the womb. But you're correct in the vibration. Everything has a vibration. So if the empaths are having difficulty eating something that they like, it's always nice to remember to you can hold it and ask for it to be what I call blessed for you, so that the vibration of it is changed to be in harmony with what you need. Yes, I mean, I think that's what Jesus did when he did the loaves and the fishes. He just blessed everything. Yeah.
I had a care home where there was at one point 13 people in there. And when I went to cook supper at night, I mean, 13 people, 13 unique people, all with digestion of one kind or another, all with one, some of them were everybody was unique. And when I got in that kitchen, I called upon Divine Mother. I said, Mother, there is no possible way that I can cook 13 different meals here.
That's
so
clear.
It is going to be up to you to provide for my people what they need. I'm going to do my part. You do yours. Exactly. And that is exactly how I ran that house, and trusted that is exactly what was needed. And
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's so gorgeous. Whenever we the blessing of saying grace, a lot of people have actually forgot the ancient,
right,
what it's actually really about. Yes, we're giving thanks for the abundance, for everything. When I do grace, it's a little bit hard for me because I'm in such gratitude for everything, the sun, the rain, the farmer that picked the produce. I just have to hurry my grace up a bit. But what you're actually doing is, if you place your hands on the plate, or whenever I'm out, if I go to a restaurant or anything, I just gently place my hand on my glass or on the edge of my plate. When you ask God or the goddess, whatever you conceive the divine to be, to please bless this for you, you're actually asking for the vibration to be in harmony with you, so that what you eat is energized specifically for your being. And in ancient times, this is what many of the leaders always had: a food taster, but they always had someone who was a light worker working with them, who would also energize the food, so there weren't any bad energy in the food. Because you can have the most wonderful organic produce that a chef is preparing. Now, if that chef is in a bad emotional headspace, no matter how wonderful the food is, that energy can be transferred. So that's why these famous cooking people go, I can't taste the love, I can't feel it. They're actually looking for the energy in the food.
Okay.
So you can, and I had that experience when I was much younger, and I just couldn't eat the food that I was looking at because I could feel all the toxins and all the chemicals and everything in them. And I said to the angels, what will I do? And they said, child, bless it. I said, what do you mean bless it? Because I said to them, I can't get to an organic store. They were hours away and I wasn't in a geographical location in that time. And they said, just hold your hands on the food and ask for it to be blessed. And I went, that's simple. They went, yes, that's simple. And so I've always done that. And whenever I make anything for anybody, I'll do what you did, very similar. I will hold it and ask for it to be blessed for that person. Yeah. So each person gets exactly what they need energetically. That's actually what we're doing when we're saying grace.
Right.
But a lot of people have forgotten that metaphysical aspect to what grace is about, asking for it to be blessed, and it's specific for your vibration. Mm-hmm. But I know I can just feel you in that kitchen with all the love that you're putting into the food. That's basically what's needed in the food is love.
Right. And I like to put my hands in it. I would use my hands a lot.
Yeah, you would be energizing it for each and every one of them. And I've also found with food that's got a high vibration, you only need a tiny bit. You actually don't need a lot. You can take a small organic apple, and you'll eat it and you'll feel like you've eaten an apple. And then you can take a huge, big, genetically modified apple that looks amazing and it's been waxed and everything, and you're buying this huge, big product that looks wonderful, and you've got this little organic apple that's got dents in it. But when you eat them, there's such a different experience. Yes. But Archangel Bariekiel, I'd like you to say hello to him. Most people in the modern era call him Zadekiel. Mm-hmm. I've always known this being as Bariekiel, but Zadekiel, he'll answer to either one. But I want you to say hello to him and tell me what you're feeling.
Well, first of all, I just feel like I can feel them embracing me right now. You know, I feel it right here because I asked for a hug. Okay. But I also am feeling a lot of warmth.
Very hot energy on some occasions.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I've got to say, you know, I have been through the menopause.
Yes.
And I feel like I have been through, I am so happy to feel so alive and blessed now in my root area.
Yes.
A lot of my young girls, you know, they're all in their 30s now, and you know, going through childhood or, you know, childbearing years, and I really want to impress upon them that there is some help that they can ask for in this area, because most women do have one issue or another in their root chakras. And just like you said, there are so many people who have been violated. And this is a time of healing. And this is when those memories will come up. And I think asking for some guidance and just some love and attention from an archangel in this time when these energies or memories come up. And I think that that's a very important way to establish this relationship.
It is. The other thing that you can do, and this is another thing that can occur when you give birth, we actually open our base chakra as well as the hips being opened to give birth. Our children come through our birth gates. Now, in ancient times, most women knew how to open and close their base chakra. The base chakra is never actually closed fully, but it vibrates at a certain vibrational rate, and it can expand and deflate. And so it's still always open. When you give birth, it actually opens up. Now, in ancient times, we always squatted to give birth because the base chakra would then hit the earth, and after the birth gate was opened and you'd given birth, a baby's head came out and their crown chakra faced the earth and grounded into the earth. And then the earth itself, part of that process was the base chakra would close back to its normal vibrational rate. Now, I observed something with postnatal depression. Those women, the base chakra was still open and their life force energy was flowing out. It can be adjusted. It can be reset and recalibrated. So as a healer, when you work with Archangel Raphael and you're dealing with someone who's suffering with postnatal depression, you may need to adjust the base chakra back to its normal vibrational rate. And I've had beautiful light workers, gorgeous goddesses who've come to prepare the base chakra to give birth as well. And so we've done that. And usually beautiful drumming ceremonies, the drums help with that. But definitely, if you're finding someone who's suffering with chronic fatigue or postnatal depression, definitely examine the base chakra area and check with their guardians, and it might need recalibrating. I had one lady, she was very, very ill. She was bleeding terribly after her birth, and the doctors couldn't find an answer. The minute that we adjusted the base chakra and brought it back into its normal vibration, got her energy back, the bleeding stopped. So these are really important things, because you're not just a physical being, you're a divine spiritual being, and you have this energetic template. And yeah, so I just hope that little bit of information helps. And there is life after children. There is life after menopause. Like you, Sheila, I've also had to experience it at a very young age. I went through a premature one. But yeah, so definitely work with Archangel Bariekiel or Archangel Zadekiel. Enjoy that energy. It is very sacred. It is very divine. In your auric field, Archangel Bariekiel or Zadekiel is the archangel that probably stands closest to you, because that red is the first layer that surrounds us.
What I was feeling. I could feel it all back here.
Yeah, all over. As I said, I call him the Ricky Martin of the archangels. He's the best dancer ever. But yeah, do you have any questions about that?
Okay, well, we've talked a lot about the women, but what about the men?
Absolutely. Now, the men also, please connect with that energy. It'll bring you back into your how do I explain this as a woman? How do I explain it in men's language? It does help you if you're suffering with any areas in your prostate, if you need to heal something within your base chakra or clear something within your base chakra. Some men's base energy is out of calibration or out of harmony with them. Some people sit in the base chakra too much and don't bring it back through the heart, or they sit in the base chakra and connect it to the mind and bypass the heart. One of the interesting things with men and women, but with men, as I said, it takes approximately 7 years to traverse or process or evolve each chakra. So by the time you're 49 or heading to 50, you will have worked through all of the chakras, and then what happens is you go back to the base So this is why a lot of people have what they call a midlife crisis, or men in their 50s go back into their childhood because you're doing it again. But the thing is, you're meant to be doing it again, knowing what you know and being evolved and going through a totally different process because you're looking at it from a more enlightened perspective. Now, with men, the base chakra energy is, as I said, very primal. Have you ever heard the expression that someone has gone berserk or a berserker? It is because they've tapped into that red energy and they see blood, they see red before their eyes, and they are incredible warriors and they go berserk and nothing else. They are totally in the red. It is a real mastery to master that energy. It is good to bring all the chakra centers into balance and bring all of them through the heart mind, which means they all become like the pistons in a car motor. They all need to be vibrating and working evenly. If you're in one chakra center more than the other, it throw you out of balance. However, having said that, you may have chosen to come and just experience one particular chakra. I think Hugh Hefner is just experienced the base. That is an incredible journey in itself, to come in and I just want to do the base chakra.
Right.
You know, it's like, that's what I'm doing on boot camp earth. And like, good luck to you. There's some of people I can observe people and I know exactly which chakra center they're sitting in. You can feel it and you can see it, and you can observe their actions, which is really interesting.
Sometimes when I'm doing a healing on somebody, one of the things I do is I'll start by opening up the heart to heart, but then I'll go through and I'll just go up and down and get all those chakras moving. And that, I think, that alone, boy, if more people would learn how to do that, oh my goodness.
You absolutely can learn how to do it. It's one of the things I teach. And there is a matrix that you can open. It's called the prayer for the amour of God. Amour meaning amor, which means love of God. But it calls in the Council of Seven, it calls in the divine energy, and it opens the matrix so that you're sitting in it, working with them, and they can facilitate a healing on you. There is an eighth archangel that comes in, which is Archangel Stellario, who sets divine paths for you to walk on. Archangel Bariekiel will also assist in rebirthing, if you want to rebirth yourself through the base. But for men, he can help bring you back into balance. Many men have been divine warriors and they're very centered in the red energy. And if it's time for you to evolve and grow and work through and bring in other colors and other energies, it will depend on what your purpose is. But the red, any of the chakra centers, bring them back through the heart. Bring everything up through the heart. And you'll find it'll feel different. It's like the heart is the motor for everything. And if you've got one of the pistons in the car that it's working more than the other, then the whole motor eventually collapses. Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain it in mechanical terms for the men.
Also, there are plenty of men on the planet, unfortunately, who have also experienced violation. And I suppose that could create a stagnant, not moving out of that red, or keeping the energy moving through.
Yes. So the repair work to repair the chakra and remove any energies that are there that shouldn't be there, that are not actually part of your energy. So Archangel Bariekiel will together with Archangel Michael, confront the being that may have facilitated the violation and remove that being's energy from the person. Remove what we call threads or hooks or whatever. And then all chakra centers can be repaired, retuned, and if they can't be repaired, they can actually be replaced with new ones. I've replaced entire templates sometimes when the template was just so shattered and beyond repair. You don't lose any of your journey. You don't lose any of your experience. We're just upgrading the software. So, if that makes sense. And the base chakra, of course, is based on sacred geometry, the core of each chakra center. There's a little matrix, which is your sacred geometry, which is your three-dimensional geometry. And, of course, the base chakra is a cube. And so, yeah, so enjoy working with these beings. They are here to facilitate amazing experiences for you. Don't be frightened. They love you beyond measure. And so enjoy that. And of course, if you do have any questions, you can always send me a message on my Facebook page, and I'll see if I can answer it for you. Mm-hmm. But I do teach the metaphysics of the healing. But enjoy that red energy. I always get the giggles when I'm working with Archangel Zadekiel. And I always feel very red, very hot.
Very hot.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, peeps, I hope you've enjoyed this. You know, Sheena works with healers to help assist them learn how to be better healers, how to be more observant, how to learn these techniques, and it's you know, we're kind of in the beginning era of healers. We've been around forever, but we're just now really getting to help inform people that there are these other methods of healing, and there's so many of them, and there's so many healers out there who are, you know, when you get the calling, you just want to serve, you want to help heal. And the world is so chaotic right now. We really need to concentrate on bringing it to ourselves, healing ourselves, sharing that healing information, and know that there is a network out there. We are all gathering and connecting, and it's very beautiful. And I do have hope that we are going to heal each other, and we are going to heal this planet and create a more beautiful and gentler. Healing is so much more gentle than other ways. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sheena. It's just so good to have you.
Thank you, Sheila, for facilitating this wonderful platform for all of us. I'm sort of speaking on behalf of us all, but it's amazing. And I like to thank all our brothers and sisters, whether you're incarnated or not, for your love and support. It is a joy to talk with you and share this little bits of knowledge and with everybody, and I hope that it touches someone somewhere and it can help them. But yeah, okay, my darling. Well, have a most wonderful week, everyone, and enjoy dancing with that red energy. So, namaste, and God bless you. Okay.
My heart to yours. Namaste.
My heart to yours. Thank you.